live, love, laugh, and let go out loud. And I'm Lynn Serrano. And as you know, I'm always excited about my guest. But this guy, I'm excited about because to know that he took time out for me and to know that he decided to come on my show, like he just had surgery, like major surgery, like just less than a week. And I thought he wasn't going to be on my show. And he's here. That made me feel pretty special. And I want to just say he's never watched my show. So for you guys that know what that means, I'm going to do a little intro here and then I'll have him on here. It's the Scott Schilling Hour. Welcome, Scott, to my show. I think he's got a little inkling by my intro that he might see he's in a different kind of Twilight show because I don't think he's ever been in a show that's been introduced like that.
No, I
Scott,
love that.
welcome. What did you think? What did you think of that little intro?
I love it. I mean, what a great honor. Thank you so much. That was really kind of fun. Very cool.
That was I did my homework a little bit, as you could
Yeah.
tell. I purposefully did what I did. Anyhow, let's just get right into this and get into the show here. So let's start out with you can't live, love, laugh unless you let go of things. So what things have you let go in out loud in your life?
I've let go of judgment is the first thing that came to me. Not my job to be the judge of other people. My job to live my beliefs and be a living example of what I believe to be true and be the best person I can be, and really understand or work to understand other people's positions and what they're doing. My platform is to return respect, honor, and dignity to the planet. I think it's something that's sorely missing. And so you can't, respect is how I treat you, honor is how I lift you up, dignity is how we both feel when we come through that process. So really, letting go the little stuff, letting go the past. The past is there to serve us. It's somebody asked me on a show one time, "What's your greatest failure?" I said, "I haven't had one." And they said, "Come on, you've never had a failure?" And I said, "Oh, I've had lots of crap go wrong, but it's not a failure because it only becomes a failure if you quit. And failure is really a process of not learning from what happens. So every every situation is a lesson. And so I've created for my clients 5 questions to ask in every situation to turn it from a negative to a positive. I think you've got to learn from what's gone on. I don't think anybody purposely doesn't do the best they can 100% of the time. The question is, do they recognize that 100% of the time they may be off course? And it's really not, you're going to be off course far more than you're ever on course in life. And so it's not a matter of being off course. It's a matter of being off course less often, less far. And so again, some of the things that I let go of is just the things that aren't going to serve me going forward. That's actually the 5th question on the lessons you've learned. How is this going to serve me the rest of my life? I just had major surgery, as you said. I had a hip replacement, less than a week ago. How is this going to serve me the rest of my life? It's going to allow me to, it's like a rebirth already. It's given me a new attitude, a new lease on life. I wore some I wore some body parts out. Okay. Such is life.
And you know what? I just think it's funny because you wrote that book. You wrote a book that says that sucks. What now? You could say that about your hip. Like,
It's
that
exactly it.
sucks. Now what? So, this isn't an infomercial or selling point here. This is just two friends talking. But, I'm going to bring that up every now and then that I get a chance to, because it's like, whatever. But your impact, you're an amazing guy. And I'm going to be all over the place here with you. But I'm going to start with this really quick because, I, this is somebody you impact.
Hey, Scott Schillings, Mark Rodriguez. Lynn Serrano had asked me to do a quick video for you. Um, the way I know of you is I'm a direct benefactor of using that Zoom link discount. So I appreciate you and thank you so much. Hey, Lynn also mentioned that you had hip surgery. Hope that's going well. I wish for you a very quick and speedy and healthy recovery. I had knee replacement surgery back in 2019. It was no joke. So I have no idea what's worse, the hip or the knee. But in either case, I wish you Godspeed and quick recovery. Enjoy your show with Lynn, and thank you again for your kindness with the Zoom link. Thanks.
See, again, you touch people that you don't even really realize you touch.
Yeah,
And
that's very nice.
and
Thank you.
and you're welcome. And so, like, I saw a little interview you did with somebody. And I'm cutting it off pretty quick, but it's still the gist of what your candor and who you are, and what I loved is, I'm gonna play this video real quick.
That especially in our digital world, we want to have a million followers, and we want to have, we want to be this influencer that has all this different stuff.
Right.
I mean, I know a fair number of influencers that have hundreds of thousands of followers who don't have bupkis. Yeah, I mean, they think, because of it's all a numbers thing. I'd rather have a smaller group of people that I have had positive impact on, have created relationships with, and, who have a similar like mind.
See, like-minded. See, this
Yep.
is why I love you. I do my homework and I start loving the people I interview. And so I just stole that, but I kind of stole it with a little permission. So
Yeah.
here we
No.
go. So here we go.
Hi, Scott. Teresa Cundiff here. Of course, I know you know that. I'm just saying my name for whoever else might be watching. I so hope that you're feeling better. We have been messaging. So happy to hear that your surgery went well and that you're on the road to recovery. Interesting that you're a little shorter on one side. But I hope that this message brings a smile to your face, and that you know that you're loved, and that you're thought about and you're cared for, and that so many people love you and are wishing you just positive healing vibes and all of the good things that are so well deserved by you, because your community thinks that you are the bee's knees, right? Be connected. How about that? So just thinking of you, and I'm so pleased we got the whole texting thing sorted out, and all of that, so we can even be more connected. So just thinking of you, and I hope that we get to talk soon. And I guess I'll see you on our Be the First Stone. So that is our community. That's a little plug for that. So for those of you who are looking to be connected in a great community of caring individuals, please join us for Be the First Stone. We meet every Tuesday. If you want to know more information about that, you can reach out to Scott to learn more about that. So, get well soon, because, you got to get that other one taken care of. So take care.
That's very awesome.
Whoops. You see why I'm glad that you didn't watch my show before?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. That's very cool. That's awesome.
I'm getting busted for being the way I am. Anyways,
All great.
all right. So let's go to the next question here. Can you recall a time in your life when you said I'd never do that and ended up doing it?
Um, I've always been pretty open to experimenting, my, my classic approach to things is to number one, contribute to the situation. And the way I do that is to look for a better way. So there's not all that many times that I'd say, I would never do that, unless I just was not convinced up front that it was appropriate. Um, you know, I can tell you there's one thing for sure, and you and I talked about it a little pre. I don't present products or sell products that I don't believe in or just for the money.
Yeah.
Um, so that's one thing I would never do and continue to never do. And
But be
and I
careful is what my point is. Never say something because sometimes you're stuck. You may say, "Oh shoot, there's a product and I'm trying to sell it," and then you feel bad about it. But I'm just saying, even when you were younger, before you got wise, is there anything you could remember even that you said, "Oh, I'd never speak," or "I'd never do this," or I mean, because there truly is in everybody's life. There's something you said you wouldn't do that you changed your mind that you ended up doing.
well, my
So I'd
dad
like
worked.
an example is
Well,
what I'm
I mean,
saying.
an example is my dad worked for the same company for 46 years from the time he was 17 till he was 63 when he retired. And so I thought all you did your entire career is work in corporate America. And so I would never go out on my own, right? I would never be a
But we're
consultant.
we're always never by ourselves, even when we're solopreneurs, because you can't do it without anybody else,
Well, right, but
you
I'm
know?
just saying that I thought that my path would be that corporate America path, and staying in big business and things like that, that I wouldn't necessarily go out on my own.
Right.
Um,
Oh,
but
and so you ended up going on your own.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I ended up going out on my own. I've been a
Yeah.
professional full-time speaker and trainer
Yeah.
for 25 years. So,
See, but you realize that your thought did shift,
oh,
you
absolutely, no
that's
doubt.
that's the point of my question is for people that say that, and be careful whether it's good or bad, be careful how you arrange your words and how you say things because you end up doing exactly what you say you weren't gonna do,
Exactly, for sure.
right? So, yeah, so that's pretty much what I meant about that. So, okay, so what makes you laugh?
Oh, all sorts of my wife being goofy, which is pretty funny. Our puppy dog, when he was with us, he would just make me smile. Just watching him, we'd get up to the park on a leash, and we'd have him sit, and he'd just look at us like, "You're going to let me off the leash, right?" And as soon as you let him off, he would just tear ass up into the park, and run. And it was just awesome to see his unabashed happiness and joy, and smell the exact same bush he smelled the day before, and uh, just living it full out. I mean, I used to love just seeing him explore,
Yeah,
just, good friends having fun, just being
good,
so.
good. So maybe then you'll like this. You'll have to listen real close to this.
So, have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
I crack my own self up. That's for my entertainment. You're just along for the ride.
I guess. I appreciate that. You know, yeah, um, I
I got him tongue tied.
well, I remember a situation where I was actually working to give somebody encouragement, and they took it the wrong way, and they took it as a pure slam, and it was because I didn't think through the verbiage. I didn't think through the words. It was meant to be encouragement or acknowledgement, and it came out like I just popped him in the forehead. And so you don't ever, I mean, I don't ever
Okay,
want to do
so
that.
so so that's an example, but give an example. So that's kind of being in a pickle. How'd you get yourself out of that pickle?
I apologize for the way I presented it and then circled back around to what I really meant and said it better.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, you see, we all get in pickles one way or another. So it's just how you handle it, right?
Yep.
All right. So what do you love in your life other than your family
Oh, geez.
and your friends? I mean, they're included in that.
Well, you don't get to be my size without eating. So,
There you
uh,
go.
so I love
Oh,
good food.
unless
Um,
unless you got a fat condition like I do on my legs. I kid you not, that's a true story. Being a former athlete, I wondered what the heck happened to my legs, but that's a long story. That's a different show we'll do. But
I love, you know what I really love? I love to see people uh, exceed their own expectations or have tremendous success. It just tugs on my heart when somebody really accomplishes something that they've worked so hard for or is so important to them. I'm a big softy. I'm a big sap, so I'm watching The Biggest Loser with my wife and somebody loses 18 pounds, right? I'm as excited for them as they are. And I don't even know them, but
I
it's that feeling, you know?
I did. I watched The Biggest Loser, and I actually had one of the twins on my show, on this
Oh,
show.
very
So
cool.
you'll have to see that one. That was really good. But oh, I love The Biggest Loser. So I think that's awesome. That's awesome. So let's see here. Oh, Cindy's here. Thank you, Cindy, for being
Hey,
here.
Cindy.
Really appreciate you. Oh, and Sharon, you know Sharon,
Hey,
right?
Karen, how are you?
Oh, yeah, Sharon. I don't know. Let's see. Sharon's
Karen's
here.
part of our Be the First Stone community.
Sharon is?
Yep,
Is she? Hmm.
yep.
Okay. Well, that's Sharon. I'm so glad you're here. Uh, why am I glad she's here? Maybe because of this.
Thank you, Lynn, for this opportunity to celebrate Scott and send him lots of love and light as he recovers. As always, he wrote the book, That Sucks, What Now? And he has made such a difference. He's this quiet servant leader that touches lives wherever he goes and whatever he touches. And although my path has only crossed with his a couple of times, I feel honored and privileged to be able to say, hello, Scott, be well. I love you. I appreciate you. And I look forward to more and more time with you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sharon. That's awesome.
Can I
Greatly
just say?
appreciate it.
Can I just say how much I love people don't watch my show? This is why I'm a marketing genius if I need to be, but I just let this creep for people to know what I'm doing. And
It's
soon
awesome.
everybody's gonna know what I'm doing. Cause somebody that that knows me and it's just getting out what I do. But I thank you, Sharon, for doing that. I did creep on your Facebook because I am friends with you. And and it's one of those things. Your friends are gonna go, this chick says she's gonna be on a show. So some of them were like, didn't answer me. They're like, I'm not gonna say nothing about the guy because I don't know if this is a whatever. So, anyways, you could tell them I was legit. But anyways, I got a message for you.
Hello, everybody. Lynn Serrano. Number one, your show is unbelievable, and congratulations for that and the people that you've had on it. And you just continue to get better and better and better. I'm such a big fan. But your guest today is absolutely the top of the mountain. I'll never forget down in Dallas, Texas one time, he was the keynote at a huge, huge event. And in comes Bob Bodine, who wrote The Power of Who. He's the most powerful guy in the National Football League you've never heard of. And this guy looks at me and says, is that Scott Schilling? You guys got Scott Schilling to speak? This must be a heck of an event. Because Scott goes back decades, 35, 40 years of nothing but success, training, inspiring, motivating on all levels, including spirituality. I love this guy with all of my heart. This will be the event for the ages. And I know Scott is coming off some physical, finally mending. And I'm just so happy because you're going to be running marathons again before you know it. And good on you, Scott. I love you. Can't wait to see you in person. Thanks for letting me be a part of this show, Lynn.
Well,
I cannot have one good connector not be graced by the other connector. But you see, Tom has done this a few times for me. He's one of my partners in crime. I gotta have him on my show someday, but I'll tell you what, you see why I keep this low? How am I gonna have the Tom Chanel on my show when he knows what I'm gonna do? That's that's the hole I'm putting myself in here, Scott, because
but he deserves it all, and whether he knows it or not, it's still it would be a great honor for him. He's such a great man. I respect him so much. He's accomplished so much, and honored to call him friend.
yeah. And so again, like I said, and it's not an easy task to do the things I do, but I love doing them, and it's an honor to do it. But if it's not partners in crimes like him, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I wouldn't be as good as my people that are willing to honor the people. But that goes to show you they don't know me, but they know you. And the people that take the plunge to say, sure, I want to honor him. I don't know what your mission, but I'm going to honor him. And here we are. This is why it's a great show, because let me tell you, Scott, I truly believe that it saddens my heart when someone dies and they have these beautiful, luxurious funerals. And I said, if only that person knew what they meant. That's what the world is missing. So many people perish without ever knowing the impact they have in the world. Not around when Lynn Serrano's around. I mean, I just make sure that you're being honored right here on my show. That's about it.
Well, I really appreciate that. I was fortunate enough to be in the tribute video for Jim Rohn back in 2009, prior to Jim passing. And we had about 100 speakers that came together through Kyle Wilson, who did an amazing job of putting that together. And we were able to honor Jim before he passed.
It's
and
important.
I know Kyle has said what a touching, how much that meant to Jim prior. And I really wish we would all do that, is make sure that we let everybody know how much we love them, how much we care for them while they're here. No reason to leave it in the eulogy.
Right. And that's so important for me. And I may interview people that people may not care about, but you know what? Even the people that you do not think deserve to be on the show, I have them on the show because there is in everyone a good piece of them. And I
Absolutely.
concentrate on the good piece in everybody. I have people on the show that don't even care for me, but it's a podcast, and that's okay because they need more love than you do, Scott. Everybody needs to be acknowledged and loved. And when they
Absolutely.
realize they don't have to be a phony, they're going to see that I saw what other people don't see because I love them regardless. So I just,
Right to be.
and that's why but now we talked beforehand and you see my mission and you see where I'm
I love
going
it.
with being connected,
Absolutely.
and it's really, and this is a question I'm going to ask you. What are your big, hairy, audacious goals, mister?
It's really simple. Share messages of hope and inspiration, teach and train others to do the same, build a worldwide global community full of people with respect, honor, and dignity for all, positively impact create a community of over 1 million or more that I help enrich personally, professionally, financially, and spiritually. Create enough influence to cause over $100 million in charitable giving, and to positively impact 1 billion or more lives on the planet.
Well, you know what? I know that comes from the belly and from the heart, but that sounds like an infomercial to me, if I'm being honest, to other people that have probably heard that and not realize there's people like you that are doing it and making a difference and giving away and offering people stuff without them feeling like, okay, what's the catch 22? And that's what I love about you. That's what I sincerely love. You sincerely come in and, like, here's my number, Lynn, if you have a problem with that. And I'm like, really? He's giving me, like, I could call this number and he's
Yep.
really going to answer. everything goes to China, no,
No,
or goes somewhere else,
yep.
call center somewheres, and then you might be lucky to get that real person. I'm just saying, folks, that's how the masses people are trying to get to and not forget how to be human. So, wouldn't you agree?
Well, the only reason that may have sounded that way is because that is the way it's been since 2003. It's not the first time I've said it. I'm very committed to it, and that's really what the new community is named. Be the first stone,
I love it.
and be the first stone is be the first stone to start the ripple.
I love it.
And if you're not the first stone, be the next stone to continue the ripple. And so this is really developing that community of people full of respect, honor, and dignity for all.
I
And
love
I'm
that.
very serious about doing everything we can. There's plenty of communities. That's not the point. This is a community of like-minded, like-hearted people that we really want to support and lift each other up in being that first stone.
So, and I'm not putting you in the spot, but I wanted to ask you this question, but seriously, it's not like this isn't a network marketing company
No,
whatsoever, right? I'm just
no,
putting that out there because,
no,
people.
this is my group that I
Thank you.
lead. This is my group that I lead. There's a variety of
So
different
you love
benefits.
people whether they're in network marketing or not, is what I'm saying.
No, this is about putting like-minded, like-hearted
Thank
people
you.
together that have a desire to have a positive impact on the
I love
planet.
that.
We can create a tipping point, meaning we can make the planet more positive if we get more feeling and more expression of that positivity out there. Even, Teresa Cundiff, thank you for having her on here, but she said, That Sucks What Now is the most positive book I've ever read. And it is because the title is not negative. It's That Sucks. I wish it wouldn't have happened that way. What now? No time to sit around and worry about it. Let's get it fixed.
Right.
It's about the positivity that comes out of the challenges that we'll all have in life. We
Right.
all have, and all will continue to have
I love it.
challenges that we either create or are created uh, in our way. And so everything is just that opportunity to take it. I say things are positive and things are less than positive. I don't even
Yes.
say that other word.
Less than glorious is what Rex Sykes always says. Less
Exactly.
than glorious is because glorious is where we all want to be. So less
It,
than glorious is
totally.
something that he coins, and I agree with you so much. And thank you. I wasn't being harsh. I wanted people that
No,
would
no,
sit
no.
here and be like, "Oh, this is another thing," or this. I'm trying to break the edge that everybody has love. Everybody lets go of what you perceive and know that you don't know everything. None of us know everything.
No, and I think everybody should have a side gig, a direct sales thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
something because you got multiple streams of bills, you need multiple streams of income, you know?
Right, right.
And so I
I'm
just
an
want
affiliate. I mean, affiliates are different than network marketing and
well,
all those
exactly.
different things, of
All I
course.
want is people to live their highest good, and the way you live your highest good is to be totally fulfilled. But that comes personally, professionally, financially, spiritually, physically, socially. You know, that's what I want to utilize the talents and capabilities God's granted me on a daily basis to make a positive impact on the planet. Now, do I do stuff wrong? Not purposely, but I do.
Right.
Do I have bad days? My daughter says, Daddy, you never have a bad day. I said, I have plenty of bad days. I just don't have them publicly. The fact of the matter is we all have an opportunity to contribute to the greater good. The question is, are you committed to do it? And if you are you doing it?
Yeah.
And if you fail or stumble or whatever, pick yourself up. If you need help, that's why coaches or mentors like myself are available. I've written checks to 19 mentors across my career because I've stumbled. and I've wanted to learn from the best.
That's
The
right.
the fact is, the way you get better is you find the model, you find what works, and then you replicate. It's R&D, rip off and
Yes.
duplicate, right?
Absolutely. I love you. I love you so much. So let me ask you this. What is the first thing you notice about a person?
Um, probably their overall presence. Are they smiling? If they're happy, have they told their face? I mean, are they enjoying themselves? Are they looking like they want to add? Do they want to be that ray of sunshine, or do they want to be the dark cloud?
Yeah. Nobody wants to be around a dark cloud either.
Nope,
Don't work for me.
not at all.
If that's the case, the days when we're down, we can be our own company. Thank you very much.
Exactly.
Okay, so what makes a person beautiful to you?
Just somebody that's beautiful both inside and out. They have just that spirit. They're inspired to um, to be different, to be positive, to be loving, to be caring, to be goofy, to be fun. To take all the positive attributes of life as opposed to the negative. Yes, there's outward beauty, but that's going to change as we become more mature. That's code word for older,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right. So the
I'm right there
fact,
with
that's going to change over time. Um, but but the
That's
reality
a
is,
humbling experience too, isn't it?
it sure is. You know. So the point is, it becomes, as Lisa's saying, it's a daily choice and a decision to be cheerful. I mean, that
Yes.
decision comes from the word decidere, to cut off. It means you cut off any other choice. So everything starts with a decision.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love that.
I can walk into a room and decide to be happy, and like I'm going to meet somebody really fabulous in here, or I'm going to walk into a room, gosh, it's going to be full of a pain in the butts.
Yep.
You know,
And you're gonna be right either way.
that's right. Henry Ford. Think you
Ford.
can,
That's
think you can't. You're right either way.
absolutely. Amen. You know what time it is? It's time for this.
Scotty, hey man, good friend of ours, Lynn Serrano, asked me to kind of reach out and say some nice things about you. And she said, make it like a 60-second video. And that's so hard, brother, because, honestly, you are one of the giant shoulders I like to stand on top of and see things through your books that you put out, the content that you put out, the group that I'm a part of. It's just amazing. And what you do for people is just above reproach. And I learned so much from you, from stage presence to even how I interview people on podcasts. And I was honored to have you on as well. So just a big thank you, man. I love your guts so much. You're always out there, more interested more in what other people's story is than telling them about yours. And yours is pretty crazy. So I'm wishing you health, wealth, happiness, and always to level up. Love your guts, brother.
From one Scott to another Scott. I
That's right.
reached out to,
30.
I wasn't his friend till just now. I wasn't Teresa's friend just till now. Hey, I lucked out just through you. So,
Fergie's good man. Good man.
well, I just hope that so far I have surprised you,
You have
surprised you.
beyond belief. Very nice.
Well, if anything, I hope this is one interview that you go back and you watch a few times. That's
I
my
will.
mission. That's my
I will.
mission. So, but you know what cracks me up though is I've done some really great tributes on here and they're on YouTube and they don't share them. So I don't know if it makes them feel guilty or not. Maybe that's a problem. Maybe that's something you all should investigate when you check out my YouTube channel.
Yeah, sure.
Anyways, so what are your success habits?
Well, let's see. Um, you know, the good news is now that I'll be back to some physical um, betterness. after wearing out body parts. I'll get back into. I used to go to the club every morning, work out. Get physically active.
Hey, from an athlete to another athlete, okay, I eventually need to get my knees done, and I even talked to a top surgeon on a live show to ask him if I could ever go running again. He said absolutely not. So you gotta be nice. Did they
Oh,
talk runnings off
yeah.
the
I'll change what I'll do. I'll move more towards swimming and non-contact stuff for sure. Uh, but I will get back into playing a lot of golf. So golf is a success habit because the lessons learned. But then studying, reading, listening to podcasts, listening to other people's materials. Again, there you can always learn something, and so there's some kind of daily tidbit of pulling a piece of information or critically thinking. I think one of the greatest success habits you can possibly have is to connect and chat with people. I love having conversations about not much of nothing, meaning no preconceived notion. I'll call friends and just say, hey, I just call them to say I care about you. What's up in your world? Tell me something good that's going on. Um, you know, I think we are. It's like one of the things that happened during the pandemic. I rejected social distancing. Now, doesn't mean I was a defiant. I was fine with physical distancing. I understand the medical reason for being separated, but I refuse to social distance. Social distancing, we are social beings. And so I actually upped my social game. I talked to more people. I created more conversations. Yes, physically we stayed apart. We had to shelter in home or do whatever we had to do for safety of contamination. But as far as social distancing, that's a bad program.
Mhm.
We are meant to be social beings, and my encouragement to everybody is if you fell into that other trap, get back out, get
Yeah.
back out of it. Start calling people, telling them you miss them and you love them.
And that's a part of my podcast slash that's my point here. Plus, you and I are not getting political on this subject, but I will say this: can we remember for one moment that we're all gonna die, and it's destined when we're gonna die per se. So why not live your life without living that regret that you didn't hug somebody or
Oh,
that kind of thing?
exactly.
And I lived with that but that's for another show, a different day. But again, I think that, to make that shift, say, hey, it's just like if somebody goes out of a perfectly good plane, right? Skydive.
That's right.
There's 90-year-olds have done that. And if they're gonna die, they're gonna die, right? Or they're gonna live. You don't know when your number's called up there.
That's
So why
exactly it.
not
Exactly.
you know? So anyways, you're supposed to be giving the advice. I'm supposed to be quiet here. So
No,
no,
this is awesome. Love this.
I just love you. I just can't help but have a conversation. What mistakes have you made along the way? Because I don't want everybody to think you're so perfect that we can't break you here.
Oh, I have made
Okay, we only have about
yeah,
10 more
really.
minutes of the show.
Yeah, we don't have
Yeah. So I'm getting you out, like my book says, long story short ride, right? So, but
you
just give
know,
people one.
gosh, I mean, I completely flipped a golf cart that severed my Achilles tendon. Uh, and, you know, I was quote unquote destined for the NFL and headed and after severing the Achilles, although they put me back together and they told me I'd never walk right again, I'd never play sports again and all that. I came back and played sports, had NFL tryouts, did different things. So the point is I made a mistake, but I came back from it. I unfortunately got divorced when my kids were 28 months old and 10 months old. It was devastating.
Oh,
But now I've been married 26 years. Whatever I didn't learn up front, I learned later on.
I love
I've
that.
lived through a near death experience. I made the mistake of when your car attacks you and hits you in the back of the head and dissects a vessel in your brain, you probably should go to the doctor before you throw a full-blown cerebellar stroke. Now, by the grace of God, I walk away with nothing. So, I've made plenty of mistakes, but it's not about the mistakes. It's what do you learn from the mistakes, which is the 5 questions that I teach my clients. What's the lesson? What's the gift? What did I do to create it? How would I modify it next time to make it better? How is this going to serve me the rest of my life?
I love that. I love that you said that because people need to know we are human. We're having human experiences, and that's that. And so the next question is, what recommendations do you think have impacted your life? What books? Now, before obviously something impacted you to write your own, and we got that in the comments here if you guys are interested in that. But as far as the books that impacted you, what would you say were the books?
A big one was The Success Principles by Jack Canfield. Jack actually wrote the foreword to my book, but the Success Principles that Jack wrote with Janet Schweitzer is 64 success principles that, quite frankly, everybody can enact and should. It's the Success Bible. Tremendous book. The Bible is, a pretty good sales manual itself, right?
Yeah.
That's a tremendous book that's created a lot of impact, and there's obviously tremendous wisdom. And
You know what
that's
just what just dawned on me?
what's that?
They say read, think, and grow rich every time you get something out of it. Gee, isn't that something like the Bible too? You should read it more than just once. But just saying.
There's not a doubt about it. I mean, there's always wisdom there. And again, whatever your spiritual, it's not my job to convert anybody.
Right.
It's my job to be a believer and execute and be a living example of my belief. And
Mhm.
so I believe there's a lot of great guidance and wisdom there that can be used going forward.
Yeah.
Think and Grow Rich is a foundational book. The 13 key characteristics to success, are listed there. There's just so many amazing. If you were to look in, you got a picture when Teresa was doing it. When I was up in my office, all the books. I mean, I have my wife was like crazy on me. You got thousands of books here.
They're all important. They all have little
they-
keys together,
that's exactly
you
what it is.
know?
It's um,
And I
there are just so many great ones.
Yep. And I think Bob Donnell said it best to me once. He goes, "You can have 5 different speakers say the same thing, but they're all going to sound different to you
Yeah.
depending on how it resonates, Resonates.
Tom Chenault mentioned Bob Bodine in The Power of Who.
Mhm.
Fabulous book. The Power of Who is a great book, but Bob's latest book, Two Chairs, absolutely amazing.
2 chairs. I have to look at that one too.
Oh, Two Chairs is an amazing book by Bob Bodine.
Oh, okay, 2 chairs. I'm going to have to look that up for
Yep.
sure. Okay, so what's your favorite quote? We're wrapping it up in about 7 minutes here.
Okay, my favorite quote comes from Zig Ziglar. You can have everything in life you want when you help enough other people get what they want. It's a positioning statement. It kind of puts you in that subordinate position, but that if I create enough service in the world, if I add enough value in the world, that ultimately I'll be taken care of.
Mhm.
And I had the honor of actually at a lunch that Zig and I were at, I said, Zig, where did you create that quote? And he said, Scott, I didn't create that quote. He said, my mama taught me that when I was 5. It was part of my christening when I was 12. I said, Zig, can I share that story? He said, I'd be honored. And so I do, because the reality is, if we understand that we add value to people, that there's not always a string attached. I talk about high intention, low attachment. A high intention of imparting something great each and every time we communicate with somebody, and a low attachment as to what that communication will deliver for them or for us. In other words, there's only 2 answers in life: hell yes and hell no. Lynn Serrano says, Scott, will you be on my show? That's a hell yes answer. There's not a, what am I going to get out of it? Who's going to see it? How many people are, you never heard me ask the question, how many people are going to watch it? Where is it going to be displayed? What is it? That's
Well,
irrelevant.
I'm
It's
glad
the,
you said. Go
it's
ahead.
the high intention of your desire to, number one, honor me the way you have with the tributes and the things. Fabulous. I mean, I'm tremendously honored. Thank you so much. But the other side is hopefully I've been able to share some things here that will bless some other people. And again, but I'm not hung up as to whether I have or I haven't. It has been my intention to do so. That's what I can control.
Well, I think it's either the lack of somebody's feeling the abundance or the insecurities, but I did learn, and like I said, you guys do your study, but I don't gossip about anybody. I let the facts for people to see, to be for them. But I will say that I interviewed somebody that even on the interview, after I honored them, I said, I wish you'd share this in the group that I belong in your group. And I said, that's a little tricky because if I let you do that, then everybody else expects it. And I came out and I said, look, I earned this because you told me if I didn't do X number of this, you wouldn't do this. And I superseded that. I said, I earned this for one. And for two, I didn't bring you to my show for me to capitalize. I came because I thought you're a good guy and I want to honor you. Now that part I didn't say on the show, but I did stand up for myself to say I earned it.
Congratulations.
And the thing is though, is I have learned that that person needs to realize that he should have said, you're honoring me and I'm honored. Yes, let's share. They said, well, you know what? If you download that or get me the copy, we'll kind of make it work somehow. And that's 56 minutes in that video. And I'm going to expose that video real soon because that's the difference of wrong teaching people in a group, whatever group, and trying to capitalize them and not allowing I was just honoring and and I wanted people to know what I saw good in this person. And instead they felt like, no, I don't want them to see this about me. I don't get that, but that's a big flag for me to realize the sincerity of people. And I'm going to start putting a clause on my show that, so I thank you for being
trust
human.
that I will share this everywhere I possibly can. And my hope and inspiration TV network goes to over 100 different networks. So trust, you give me this, I'll get it out.
Oh, but Bob, there's a lot of people over there that before we share it out to them, I want to really inspire to honor people that you and I feel should be honored. Like I want you to be my conspirator on
That's
some
fine.
big
I'm in.
people. So
Count me in. Okay.
he's
Then
going to be my
you
conspirator.
give me the rules. You give me the rules, and that's how we'll play.
And the simple rule is there are good people out there that don't get good shakes, that give to the world, to the community. But even the ones that we may interview and we may not think are good, and this is 48 minutes in, so only the good people that went this far will hear this. But the bottom line is if you don't think or resonate with who you think I'm interviewing, check it out and see the good that they've done and see that people see the good in them. And let's love that person that needs to. Because even like politicians, I bet you they were good when they went in. They got a little greased with a little money and they got screwed over because something they did in the past, unfortunately, they're shamed about that they can't tell nobody. And that's what converted their shame. Because I'll tell you what, there's things I would have for a long time not want anybody to know about me. I wrote it in a book now, so I'm free of that. But before that, I probably would have taken the bribe money and been corrupted politician too, even though I'm a good person.
I get
So
it.
that's how the world goes. So we need to expose more love and kindness to even the evil ones because they need the love even more. And I think you feel the same damn way.
I totally agree. I'm with you. That's why you tell me the rules. I'll play by the rules.
There you go. The rules are we're going to love people and show people that we love people, even the ones that need to see that they need the love the most. So
Yep.
I'm just so grateful. Anyways, so what's the best trip traveling? And I didn't know when I said this at first, what's the best trip? And that's why I go traveling wise you ever had. Because I've never smoked pot and I'm as goofy as can be. And my kids are like, Mom, you should try it. I'm like, don't you think I'm goofy enough? I can't imagine. I swear, maybe someday I should try pot and go live. I would be scared to do that. So, anyways, go ahead.
My absolute happy place is on a catamaran in the British Virgin Islands. 5 o'clock in the morning, cup of coffee, smelling that coffee just wafting, sun coming up over an uninhabited island with two goats over the top just baaing, terrapins swimming underneath you, going, this is life.
Okay, swimming's allowed in our hardware area, but I hope you get somebody to take care of the catamaran. What happened to Scott? Well, he got up there and thought he could take care of everything.
No, I was just standing there. We were at anchor, and the British Virgin Islands is just that's my happy place. My wife and I just absolutely love it, and being on a catamaran down there, just being able to enjoy nature. It's so beautiful, and the people are so amazing. Just so much fun.
Well, there's many questions I could ask, but you, mister, have been sitting there for a little while because we were together beforehand. And I just thank you for being there. I don't want you feeling uncomfortable, but I would really love to have you back on my show. And I just love you. I sincerely love you for who you are. And I'm thankful that you got through your surgery. I'm thankful that you kept your word to come here when you haven't even been in a hospital for a week. And I really, truly, I would even worked harder to get more guests on here, but nothing like making people do a video and they're like, that girl lied to me. He didn't show up. I'm
No,
like, I would have had to split, but things happen. So I didn't assume, or else I would have gave you a bigger stance and parade. But I'm grateful for those that helped me to do what I did today on this show to honor you, because I do honor your transparency and your kindness and your love, and thank you for finally connecting in my life.
it's truly an honor, and one of the things that I'm proudest of in my career is if anybody, I've done over 3,000 live events. I've never missed one. I've never changed a schedule. Um, I've been very blessed and fortunate. Doesn't mean I had a couple that were a little rough, that I wasn't feeling the greatest. But, if you are going to do what you do to ask me to be on the show and honor me, it's my obligation, and it's actually my invitation
But you
to
see,
to return that.
I thank you, but you see, that's the thing, right? I'm reverse engineering a lot of stuff here. I'm not looking for the ones that have been watching my show,
Right,
because then there's an expectancy there.
right.
It's just like if somebody tells you a thing is a good movie, you go, well, it might not be as good as you think.
Yeah. No, very
So
true.
So again, I'm doing the reverse engineer here. I'm like, I get happy when I know somebody hasn't watched my show because they didn't realize this. You came, and I loved in the comments when you said, I'm here to bring anything to her team or whatever. You had like no idea what this was going to be, and you were bringing full on. And that's a person. I mean, you brought the step so much higher in the regards I have for you. And Lisa, who's 6 hours behind me, she's in Hawaii. She's watching this. And so
Aloha.
again, yes, so again, that's what I'm trying to say is that I love the pure and the fact that you were here to give to me before you saw I was giving to you.
Yeah,
And
very
that
much so. Well, that's,
right.
again, what I learned a long time ago when I went into the speaking business full time, the promoter is number one, the audience is number two, I'm third. So it's all about positioning. This is your show. This is your decision to honor me. I mean, how can I not support that? I'd be silly not to.
Well,
Such a very gracious in everything that's happened. I'm honored. I truly am. I got a little misty there
Mr.
with Mr.
Okay, you
Chenault.
guys, I'm gonna tell you something, and I don't usually tell my secrets here, but in honor of Scott, I want to tell you this. I'm gonna put the intro of Scott on again, but I want you to tell them real quick of some of the people I picked in those videos, because you know who those people are. I strategically made sure that he felt that I know him, I see him, and that I respect. But I put some people, I think I made you smile, tear it up,
Yeah.
and did a little few things. You want a backstory and share what that meant to you? Because I'm going to close out with that video.
Yeah, I mean, everything from my wife, Halloween is like the greatest thing for her. So for us to be dressed up, the pictures of us dressed up and me being the Invisible Man at one point. I don't remember if you got me as the cowboy a different year.
No, the Invisible Man one. Yeah.
The Invisible Man
Yeah.
one. I've been so
Mutual.
blessed to share the stage with so many amazing people. Jack Canfield is a great mentor and friend of mine, and seeing that, just the
Glenn Morshower, because I love
Glenn
Glenn
Morshower.
Morshower.
Oh, Glenn's just a
He's a
trip
blessing.
and so much fun. We've done multiple events together and just both live here in Dallas and just again to see I don't remember everybody who was through there, but just all of them did
And your
all of it.
mom dancing.
Oh yeah, my mom. That was at my son's wedding, and
Did that get to
dancing.
you?
That um,
Yeah, I
you
wanted you to
know,
feel the love. That's why I want you to come
yeah,
back and see this again. So
absolutely.
I'm gonna stop right there. I don't want him to get choky, but I'm gonna play this one more time. So when he watches this, he's got 2 times full spoonfuls. I love you, Scott. God bless
Love
you.
you too. Thanks,
And
Lynn.
don't leave me.
I'm
Stay
not.
right there.
I'm not